In this lesson, we're going to learn about Office 365. The first part of the lesson is going to be logging in. To log in, you're going to want to open your browser and go to the Ben Hill County Schools webpage. Once you're at the Ben Hill County's page, you're going to click on the quick link on the left-hand side of the page. Let me scroll down just a little bit for MS Office 365. When you click on that link, it's going to take you to the login page for Office 365, which is probably going to look something like this. Once you get there, you will enter your benhillcountyschools.org email address. As you can see, I have it here, and your password. You'll click login or sign in, pardon me. Once you get signed in, you're going to land on your Office 365 landing page. It could be different than the page that I'm on. If for some reason it doesn't bring you to this page, you can always go up to the top and click on the, some people call it the waffle or the Office 365 menu. And at that point, you'll see all of the different apps that you have. So this is basically logging into Office 365. In the next lesson, we're going to talk about teams and how to create a team. Once you've logged into Office 365, you typically are going to be taken to your landing page, which looks very similar to this. If for some reason you're not on this page, you can always go to the Office 365 menu. Some people call it the waffle. In the upper left-hand corner of Office 365 once you're logged in, and you can always get to any of the applications that you have. In our case, we're going to be going to the application called Teams. This is the first lesson that we're going to have inside Office 365. So we'll find the icon for Teams and we'll click on Teams. Once we do that, the Teams application will open. Depending on the speed of your internet connection or the number of teams that you have joined or have created, sometimes this can take a few seconds. Once that page loads, typically you will land on the tab called Teams, and in the center column here you will see all of the teams that you are either a member of or that you are the owner of. So you can see here that I have several different teams that I'm either a member of or an owner of. Okay, to create a new team, which is what we're going to do in this lesson, we want to move to the very bottom and we want to click this Add Team button. Now, there is another location where you can create a team, but that's not going to be good at this point. You want to make sure you create your team by clicking the Add Team button at the bottom here. So we'll click on Add Team, and when we do, in the main screen, we're going to see this button that says Create a Team. So now we'll click Create Team here. Once we do, we're going to get to choose the type of team that we want to create. And because our lesson today is going to be about creating teams for our class, we're going to want to make sure we choose the one called Class Team. Also in this lesson, actually it's the next lesson after this one, but in the next video, we're going to be talking about the class notebook with teams. So it's very important that we choose the class team type. So we're going to click on that. Once we do, we'll get the dialog box to create our team. The first thing we want to do is name our team. Since this team is going to be for my class, I'm going to follow a particular naming scheme. You may have a different naming scheme in mind for your team, depending on what you've discussed with either your principal or your department or your instructional technology coordinator. But I'm going to start by putting my last name. And then after my last name, I'm going to put a dash in the subject area that I teach. And then after that, I'm going to put the grade level of that subject area. So this is going to be Science 8. I'm going to put another dash, and I'm going to put the period. So this is going to be third period. Now I have a description box here. I can type an optional description. I'm not going to do that at this time, so I'm going to click Next. The team is going to be created. You're going to probably see that populate kind of in the background. And now I can add people to my team. I can add either students if I click on the Students tab, or I can click on the Teachers tab and I can add teachers to my team. I'm going to add students, and I'm not going to add any teachers at this time, but I do want to mention that the reason why you might add teachers to your team would be, for example, if you work with another teacher that you collaborate with, maybe it's a special ed teacher, or maybe you work with a teacher's aide and you have your teacher's aide sometimes helping you make assignments inside your team. Anything that you can do in your team, if you add a teacher to that team, that teacher can also do as well. So they can add assignments, they can chat, they can type messages to students, that sort of thing, that are members of the team. The only thing a teacher can't do that you add is they cannot delete your team. All right, we're going to leave that blank for now and we're going to click on students. I'm going to go ahead and search for a student by name. So I would just start typing in the last initial of the person's last name if I knew it. If I didn't know it, I could start typing in their first name. So I'm going to type in Terry. And you'll see here that anyone that has kind of those initials is going to pop up. So what I can do is I can just scroll down through here and I can find either the student's name, or if it's a teacher, I can find the teacher's name. For now, I'm going to actually click on Terrence White. Whether this is a student or not is irrelevant at this point, but you would be adding your students. Now, I could, if I had another student in my class, I could go ahead and start typing the other student's name. And then once I find that other student, I could click on that student. And I'm just going to keep doing this until I have all of my students added. Once I have all the students added that I know of that are in my class at this point, I'll just click the Add button here. And as you can see, it's going to add those students to my team. That point, if I needed to change the type of member that they were, I could go up here and make them an owner. But since these guys are students, I'm going to leave them set to member. Also, if I wanted to delete them from my team, I could just hit this X here and it would remove them from my team. So I'm going to go ahead and hit close at this point. And now my team has been created and I have a couple of students added to my team.